Alright, we're live. How's everybody doing tonight? Earlier I made a much smaller jelly cube, about 1 inch by 1 inch. How long is this one? This is 2.25 inches right now. And so I ended up getting these rings out. They were bought, when I bought them, I hadn't made the decision of whether or not I was going to expand this jelly cube or make a set of 3, or when I did the cube and cube with the brass and bronze rings that I had, I was gonna do that. I hadn't made the decision of whether or not I was going to use these rings. For if I do another cube and cube, I want it to be, what do you call it? Stainless. I want to do regular stainless and blackened stainless, 18 gauge, 1/8. Now I am currently adding a ring to 3 sides. This lets me know that I have, oh, I might want to, hang on. I might want to get my camera set up. There we go. I'm adding a ring to 3 sides. These are the 3 sides I'm going to work on. So anyway, while I was working on the smaller jelly cube today, I was like, let me go ahead and add these to my current jelly cube. This is 9 layers. I have no idea how many rings it is. There's an equation out there to figure out how many rings, but it's a lot. You were just about to say something about the camera? Oh, thanks, bud. Yep. I was still making sure that the stream was going through to TikTok and hadn't pulled Streamlabs back up yet. We'll just wait until I start a stream and I get halfway through and I realize that my microphone's not on. That's always fun. So, and then the other reason is what have I got? I've got these blackened stainless rings. And I've got some pretty niobium rings. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. These are anodized niobium. It's very expensive stuff. It's not, I don't have the issue with these that I had with the titanium. So I might make something like earrings or something out of this. I don't know. We'll see. But I was sitting here. I just got downstairs. I'm like, all right. I've got dinner done. Kid's done his homework. Dog's taken care of. They're fed. You'll probably be here to stop you if that happens. Oh, I appreciate it, bud. But I was sitting down here. I was like, all right, what am I going to work on? I don't want to work on the Finnegan's Wake inlay right now. That takes a lot of thought process and trying to think while streaming can become difficult, and I'm already tired. Just kind of wore out from the last couple hours. So let me get something kind of meaningless that I can work on, that I can stream and work on it at the same time and keep my hands occupied. Excuse me. Oh, hang on. Excuse me. There's another fun thing I've been dealing with all day. It's been real windy here. The wind's been bringing in all kinds of stuff, killing my allergies. John Coucher followed the host. Coucher, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. That's one more follower on our goal to 10,000. That blue is giving you Hylian Shield vibes. It's a nice blue. Niobium is really shiny and kind of glossy when it gets anodized. It's not like titanium. Brandon C. Schultz, thank you for the follow. So we're really close to 1,500 followers, and then there's that leaves us with 8,500 to 10,000, and then I can get a stream key and not have my phone be used as camera equipment. I can just use my camera equipment. There's a novel idea. You bet that blue would look good with a red like the shield? I bet it would too. I don't know if niobium comes in red. I'm sure it does. I'd have to look at... I think that the Ring Lord is the only one that does anodize niobium. There might be a few other people out there who do it, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. So I'd have to look at their website to figure out. Yeah, I ordered the niobium on the Ring Lord. I'd have to look at their website to figure out if they have, or what colors they have. I know a few other people who do anodized titanium. Michael Barr, thank you for the follow. I don't remember how many ounces of 18 gauge 1/8 rings I ordered. These rings are super shiny. They're bright aluminum from chainreaction.ca. You'll check, not that you need to order it for that, but you'll check out of curiosity. Here's the issue, right? If you're ordering niobium to make an inlay of, say, a Hylian shield like you were talking about, that's going to be very expensive. For example, I calculated this out one time, right? And on this bracelet alone, right? This is blackened niobium, okay? When I counted up all the rings and what it cost me to order these, I think it was $120 just for the two black strips on here. The silver is stainless steel. So these two strips of niobium, whatever they weighed at the time, cost me $120. Not necessarily for an inlay, thinking a bracelet, yeah. That'd make... That probably wouldn't break the bank. So the reason it's so expensive is because I don't know. It's hypoallergenic, I know that much. But I don't know if it's rare or anything. I have no idea. I am working on expanding my chainmail jelly cube. Hi, Latricia. How are you tonight? Latricia? How are you? So I've had this cube for a while, and I've had this bag of rings, and I need to use them up, and I wanted something that I could work on and talk at the same time, and not have to think, as opposed to some of the other projects I've worked on lately where it requires me to look at what I'm doing. And you're doing good. That's good to hear. So we're just making this cube larger. These are amazing, right? I don't know who came up with them originally, but a guy named, goes by Cinnabar online. He popularized them. And I've got another one here. It's not as jelly. These are square wire rings. But this 18 gauge 1/8 rings, they're perfect for this. So I am just making a large one. I have a rubber band ball that is falling apart, and I need to have another large decoration that is just ridiculous for my bar down here. Cheap and Jammer says bronze. Doesn't come in red, it comes in bronze. Is that what you're telling me? So as of right now, this cube is 9 layers, and we're working on layer 10. And actually, the smaller cube I made earlier today was to replace a cube that my wife had given to a coworker whose son has autism, and they reported that he loved it. Yeah, there's a couple Chainmail fidget toys. It's tactile. It's hefty. Keeps my hands busy. It's why I like making it. I did see someone working on a cube earlier, had lots of colors in it. Alright, so Niobe comes in bronze, brown, cobalt blue, dark rose, green, indigo, light blue, mixed, no color, peacock, purple, rose gold, teal, violet, and yellow. Nice. That's a decent color selection. Yeah, you have autism, you just can't get over how good it would feel to hold it. It's fun. Someone was making one, it was pink, blue. It had like a color gradient, right? From blue to pink. You were making a list of colors, but you pressed send. Alright. Allergies I can deal with. That coughing I had the other day where I had to just straight up stop streaming, that was awful. Here, we'll try to keep my snot rags off screen. This looks familiar. Yeah, you might be working on something similar. I was making a smaller one earlier today, and I was like, alright, well now I've got these rings out, let's go ahead and expand this cube. And I feel like I've made a couple of cubes lately. I did the brass and bronze, the brass and bronze interlocking cubes. I added to this cube. I'm adding to this cube, and I think I did I do one more? I don't know. So I didn't necessarily want to work on a cube tonight, but I didn't want to work on something that would make me have to pause and think about what I was doing either. So I was like, all right, let's work on this. It's safe. I can sit here and stream and talk and do my thing. What is this music? I did find the Surprise Me channel on Pretzel Rock, so this isn't better than the last song we were listening to. I need to delve into it and just spend an hour exploring like what my channel options are. Let's try one more time. If we can get... That's a little better. What size rings and what pattern do you use for these? This ring size is 18 gauge 1/8. I want to say that the aspect ratio is 2.7 to 3.1. And the weave is Japanese 4-in-1. 2.7? Yeah. The weave is Japanese 4-in-1. And you just start by making your first layer and then building your next layer on top of that and repeating until you have a cube the size you want. There are instructions for it in multiple places, namely the files section in the Chainmail group on Facebook. I got these rings from chainreaction.ca up in Canada, and they're quite perfect for this. This is easily the best jelly cube I've ever done. You tried your first one a week or so ago, but you think your air was too small? It was a tight cube? Yeah, that can happen. To get just the fluidity of it, right? That AR is real specific. All right, Jibin says you finished adjusting your second sleeve yesterday. Nice. How does your shirt fit? If you're wondering who I'm talking to, I am looking at two different comment threads, and I am, if you want a different view than what you can get on TikTok, I am live on all the regular streaming platforms that you would normally find someone under the same name. You haven't tried it on yet? Okay. I was thinking about my next shirt today, because we're kind of, like, I've got a lot of rings left, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of work to do, right, before I go and really start buying new rings or anything like that. I'm not supposed to be buying new rings until I finish all the ones in my basement. That's my goal. But when I said that, I bought these since then, and these, and a few others. I won't lie. I'm trying to avoid buying new rings and using up what I have down here, because I've had a lot of these rings for over a decade, and they're just rings that the projects I bought them for, it wasn't the right ring size, they didn't work out. I have a lot of those. So, but the quality of rings, I'm told, has improved over time. or the quality control of the ring manufacturing process. So, hopefully, between quality control improvements and me really paying attention to exactly what I'm ordering, I won't run into that problem in the future. Because I have a welder, and I would like to really make some strong chains. But here, I don't know how well you can see these on any camera, right? I think these are 22 gauge 3/32 rings. The writing on the bag is for a different ring. I put these in this bag today, right? And it's all sterling silver, right? And I didn't know what I was going to make with them when I bought them, or what I can make with them now. And it's like, it's a very frail ring. So I don't know if I really can make anything out of them. But I've got the welder, and I might try welding those tiny silver rings into a nice, strong piece of jewelry. Alright, Pretzel Rock, you're killing me, man. So it's like, I ordered those rings thinking I would be able to use them, and I probably could. I could make them into a necklace without reinforcing them, but they are so tiny and so frail. If they were steel, it wouldn't be an issue. I wouldn't think twice about using them in something. But silver's soft. And while sterling silver is not as soft as fine silver, it's still soft. You're killing me, Smalls. What'd I do? What did I do this time? You know, some of the rings I ordered were, and okay, so part of it's my fault. Some of the rings I ordered were unusable, too many burrs, too many angled cuts where the saw blade, the kerf of the saw blade was at a 30-degree angle or something through the ring, and it just made a ring that no matter what you did, you couldn't get a good closure on it. And I never went and returned those. I just held on to them for forever. And I did end up buying a tumbler and polishing most of them down to a usable, like this titanium dice bag, right? All these titanium rings had giant burrs on them. You know, I didn't have the means to get it clean, clean them up until a couple of years ago. But I finally did, and now we've got this cool dice bag. It's full of 550 cord right now, so I said you're killing me to the ratio. Oh, you said you're killing. Oh, yeah, okay. I said it to the radio. I gotcha. Pretzel Rocks is killing me. And yes, it's killing Smalls too. Pretzel Rock, what have you done? So I never used up those titanium rings until recently. But also, I didn't contact the manufacturer and be like, yo, these are jacked up. Let's exchange them. I just held on to them and never did anything with them until recently, so. And that is what has led me to have an overabundance of rings that I haven't used in quite a while. And now we're here, hanging out on the internet, putting them together into random stuff like, I don't know, bottle wraps for really small bottles, balls, cubes, more balls. That'll be a ball once it's filled. I'm waiting on getting some stainless steel, what do you call them? Ball bearings. Anyway, it's all being put to good use. Kylo Lune, thank you for the follow. So, and the number of rings that I have left over that have been sitting here is diminishing. Like we're making some progress. So I'm happy about that. Like all the I've got three tables and a desk here. And all the old stuff is now on the table next to me. Or most of the old stuff is on the table next to me. So we'll use up as much of it as we can. Throw the rest in the junk jar. And then there's a couple of older projects that, like I have some belts that I want to add some leather work to. They're chainmail belts. And I want to add leather to the ends so that the way it's connected to the belt buckle and the way the snap snaps through the belt buckle is just like a normal leather belt with a chainmail insert in between. I think that would make them a little more wearable, a little more comfortable. And then some guitar straps. I want to add some leather work to those. And I was thinking, I really need to just go all out on the guitar straps because I have a wooden acoustic guitar. And it's a $50 POS pawn shop guitar that I've had for, how old am I? 26 years, right? And I learned to play, my uncle taught me how to play guitar on that, and I will never give it up, right? It's got good sound. It's made by a company that doesn't exist anymore. It's in Odessa, right? And it's just I've carried it everywhere. I took it all throughout the Army with me. And I am not good at playing the guitar. I am okay. I know a few songs. I can learn stuff. But musically, I'm not that great. So, part of you wishes you never got rid of your guitar, but it was small. Yeah. Part of me wishes that I didn't pack my Legos to be transferred by the government, because they're gone now. But yeah, it's a wooden acoustic guitar, and I've got well, here, let me just... This is my chainmail guitar. Now, clearly, this was some early leather work that I did. I've improved since I made this. right? But if this, you know, I could polish this all day long, and if it rubs up against my guitar, it's going to scratch it. So I've got, it's also ridiculously heavy, but what isn't when you're working with metal? So we've got this, and I'm gonna line the whole thing with leather, and then make the straps longer on the ends because I don't want it really laying up against my guitar. And like I said, it's a cheap guitar. It's not necessarily something that I'm concerned about getting damaged, but, you know, I don't want to bang the crap out of it if I don't have to. Luke Call 5150, thank you for the follow. Excuse me, I need a drink of water. So Jeep and Jammer, was it like a small travel guitar? Is that what you didn't hang on to? Because those are fun. There's a guy on TikTok. He has got a crazy guitar. All the frets are at an angle. He's got a tuning. So where the strings normally slide into the guitar is a bridge, and it goes down to this mechanism that tunes the guitar up a step and down a step. The guitar is crazy. And of course he's awesome. So I saw that guitar and I was like, oh my gosh, I would just love to own that guitar, even if I couldn't play it, right? Like there's a 8-string baritone guitar that I've wanted by, I think it's Taylor. I've wanted that for a long time. All right. The mail fits pretty good. That's good to hear. Might let out a few more rings, but it won't know until you close the gap between the sleeve and the armpit. It was a beginner guitar you got freshman year of high school? Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah. Make sure you have plenty of room in the arms and the armpits and all that stuff, because any place where it bunches up is going to impinge your movement. Do I sell the jelly cubes? I do not, but thank you for the follow. We're not selling nothing much right now as far as what I make on stream. One day that will change. But if you are looking for a jelly cube, there is a few crafters on here. One that I've seen her make jelly cubes recently is Mother of Dragons, and I think I looked up her website last night, and it's Wayward and Whimsy, and she makes really cool chainmail dragons, but she also makes jelly cubes, and I know I saw her make one the other day, and she had a multicolored one, right? So I don't have a bunch of different ring colors, and I'm making this out of aluminum, so I don't have a bunch of anodized aluminum in this ring size to make a variety of different colored rings. Perhaps one day I will. But most of what I sell is all just chainmail themed apparel and accessories on my website. And if Mother of Dragons doesn't have it, there is always, you can go to my Linktree in my bio and check out the Mailworks app, and in there is a list of other chainmail artisans, and many of them make jelly cubes that can be contacted. Robert Reed Jr., how you doing, bro? So, yeah, these jelly cubes are cool. I'm sure they'd fetch a nice penny, but as of right now, I'm just expanding this one to replace my rubber band ball that is slowly falling apart, and hopefully this will last a few more years. And I'm not dedicated to rubber bands the way I am to chainmail, you know, so yeah, have a rubber band ball for a little bit, that's okay. But have a really big jelly cube sitting on your bar and people asking what it is, it'll be a good replacement. Your arms will get cold pretty quick if it binds any, so you'll know pretty fast if you need to let it out. Good. Steel lasts longer than latex. Quite a bit. Quite a bit longer, actually. I was working, where was I working? I was working at the jail, and all of the medications had rubber bands around them. And I would just collect the rubber bands and add them to this rubber band ball, and it got, I don't know, 6 to 7 inches in diameter. It was just, we were just throwing the rubber bands away. And you stay pretty busy working in a jail. There's lots of stuff to do, but there's plenty of times where you can't do anything because they're transporting prisoners back and forth, or there's not a guard to be in the sick call. When you cut your last coil today, so when you're out for a week or so. Right on. That's progress, right? Speaking of coils, I got some spring coils for my garage door, and I need to cut those up into rings and clean them up. But I didn't do it while it was warm outside, so that might have to wait until the spring. I don't know. I've got some organizing I need to do. I have to figure out exactly what I have. I received a bunch of firearms and tools from my father-in-law when he passed, and the firearms are all taken care of. But the tools, I've got some power tools I got to buy batteries for. But he has a ton of machinist tools and a ton of just tools in general. It's like he went into the Snap-on truck and just bought one of everything. Except it's not Snap-on, it's Harbor Freight. It's like he went into Harbor Freight and bought one of everything. About how big are the coils? I think the springs on a garage door are 2.5 inches. 2 inches, something like that. They're large. And there's not a ton of them. But it's spring steel in a spring. And so a few years ago I threw them into a bonfire and let them cook overnight to anneal them. And I just need to cut them now, and I haven't. So, but I need to do some work in the garage and clean up stuff in the shed before it gets real, perhaps before it gets real cold. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm going to use an angle grinder to cut them. It doesn't really matter if I go out and I can just leave it as a mess until springtime. But I would like to get it organized and figure out what I have. Even got some of this. I got tools in the garage, and I've got tools down here in the basement that I got. So I need to. The machinist tools, right? Those are really, like, a bunch of them are stuff that he made. And so those are really just to preserve his work for the grandkids. That's why we have them. But I have a lot of other randomness from him. So, and if I needed something from the machinist toolboxes they're like 100 pounds a piece, man. They're ridiculous. But yeah, if I get out there and start organizing the stuff in the garage, then perhaps I will find the angle grinder and go cut those garage door coils and make something with those. And that's going to take a vise and I don't know what else. That's going to be some work. And I will get it figured out. It's another project that I got to get to. I got plenty of stuff to do around here. I did get to my list of stuff and start pricing stuff out, like getting the ducts cleaned and getting a backup battery for the sump pump and getting ready to plan to clean up some of the cracks in the ceiling and some of the paint. So lots of stuff to do. If you have enough, you could make a box chain coffee table legs. I could. That'd be cool. I don't think I don't know how many rings there are. But I called up the company that came and fixed our garage door, and I was like, is there any way you could have your guys collect all the springs of the doors that break for me? And I would like buy them from you for, $20 a spring. And they wouldn't do it, so they're just going to make a big collection of rings. I was thinking, one of the projects I'd like to do, I need a coffee table, right? And I've got a coffee table and a TV, and my basement is pretty much complete, right? Let me adjust my seating position here. So I was thinking about coffee tables, and then I came across someone's infinity table where they got mirrors and LEDs to make it look like what you're looking at goes on forever. And I thought, oh, I should make a chainmail version of that. And I was going to do, a coffee table. But I want a coffee table I can use, and so the Chainmail Infinity art piece that I want to do has been put on hold. It's not going to be used as a coffee table. I will make it and I will put it somewhere where it looks cool in the basement. But I do need a coffee table. I just want one that I can put my feet up on. Put a drink on, not worry about scratching it up or anything. And that's one of the things I'd like to do in the future is incorporate chainmail into different pieces. Like I have some scale mail lamps, right? And they're cool. But they make chainmail curtains and chainmail chandeliers and all kinds of stuff. Make one of those tables that's got like 3 strings holding it, and the top piece doesn't actually touch. It's like a tension table or something. Saw one like that, but it was a barrel with a ladder inside. Yeah, exactly like that, except just chainmail instead of a ladder. So I want to make one of those. But it's cold here, and I am a giant weenie when it comes to cold. I have seen the house. I did a video on, it's not the Hell House. What's it called? It's called, There is a House in England. Is it the Hell House? Hang on, now I gotta figure it out. Alright. Chainmail net around house. Hill House. It's called the Hill House. So the Hill House is a historic building, and the material it's made from is very absorbent, and it's in soggy old England or wherever where it's raining all the time. So over the last millennia, or however long this house has been around, it has absorbed a lot of water. And they put up a giant chainmail net all around the house to help keep the water off. And they put a cover over the top, but the sides of the building are a 30 million ring net to disperse water and have it run down the chainmail instead of hit the house, so that the house could dry out. Now, in the original YouTube video that I saw, there was a claim that the 30 million ring net was handmade, and there's no way. Bringeth forth thine show of slides at once. That took me a second to figure out what you meant there. I don't know why it doesn't just repeat itself. I wonder if there's a setting I can go in and I still haven't added the new images to it, but got plenty of time for that. There's nothing, I don't think there's anything really new. It's just better quality pictures. But yeah, so the original YouTube video I saw claimed that the giant chainmail net that surrounded Hill House was handmade, and no one in the chainmail community online knew about it. So we all said, "Nah, it's probably machine made." 30 million rings is a lot. It's a large project, more than what a lot of the chainmail community combined could make. You aim to be strange? Well, you're succeeding. Yeah, that was in my, the discussion of the Hill House was in one of my videos where I was talking about how we use chainmail in the modern world. Not just medievally anymore. We don't just go look at it in museums. Like, we actually use it in a lot of things, right? There are fences made of chainmail to help prevent erosion and landslides along roadways, to help prevent rocks from falling. Great, I have success somewhere. Yes, you're doing just fine. There's Neptunic shark suits, which are awesome. Divers wear them down to go play with sharks, which you'll never catch me doing, but I would like to own a Neptunic shark suit one day, just to have it, just to get a mannequin and put it on the mannequin and have it displayed down here. That would be a cool thing to have. But they're $7,500. So if you feel like helping me on my goal to getting a Neptunic shark suit to display in my basement, please buy something from my store. But yes, erosion guards and rockfall guards, Neptunic shark suits, the Hill House. There's Chainmail, which is, yeah. Have I seen the behind the scenes for Lord of the Rings where they were making the mail? I have a long, long time ago, but the guy that worked for Weta, who was the company that did Lord of the Rings, all the special effects, they made so much plastic chainmail that their fingertips rubbed off, right? So the guys that were doing that, one of them, his name is Kane, I forget his last name, and he said, I'm never doing that again, and he went out and made some kind of process where he used plastic rings to make large sheets of chainmail. And you can use it for all kinds of stuff, but namely, I think what his company advertises or promotes it as is to help keep buildings cool by providing shade from the chainmail and blocking out some of the light for skyscrapers and what do you call them, parking garages and stuff like that. So that's a really cool use of chainmail in today's modern world. Then of course you have mail showing up in movies and TV, and one of the ladies in the large chainmail group, she has a bunch of chainmail on like Days of Our Lives, a bunch of her jewelry on there. And there is another lady who does a bunch of chainmail for fashion shows, or did them a few years ago. I never did a video on that, but I should. Chainmail, it's not just for jelly cubes. You've seen male window curtains to protect against hail? Yeah. I'd want that. Knock on wood. This is an IKEA desktop. Does it count as wood? Alright, I'm gonna get a drink of water here. But yeah, there's a whole lot of ways that we use chainmail, from nanotechnology to lunar module tires, shark suits, and I mean, I just make it by hand and try to make cool stuff out of it, but there's legitimately another video I want to do is on scale mail. I don't remember if this girl was a radiology tech or not, but they had some scale mail and they were draping it on, probably on themselves, I would assume. And I don't remember if they did a study or not. I'd have to go back and read the article. But basically what they found was that scale mail was defensive enough to prevent, or to, what's the word I'm looking for? To shield some of your body when you were getting an x-ray. So if you needed an x-ray of your left lung, you could put a piece of scale mail over your right lung and it would protect it, right? And the argument a lot of people came up with was, oh, well, why wouldn't you just use a lead drape when you're getting an x-ray? Which makes sense. They have lead drapes already. No one's going to invest a ton of money in scale mail drapes for the medical field. But it was a cool article. You know, cool things that scale mail and chainmail can do. Unfortunately, your IKEA desk still counts as wood, huh? At 9 layers, right, this cube is so large that we've been working for an hour and we haven't finished one layer. That's okay. It's kind of what I wanted. I just needed to sit and talk and work on something that I didn't really have to think about. If this had a multitude of colors or variants or anything like that, and I had to put some thought into it, I was too tired to do that when I started. The IKEA desk is less than a 16th thin, like a veneer with a honeycomb style infill. Let's see here. I have, I don't know, what is it, particle board? It's a veneered particle board in this desk, but this desk is from 2004. My roommate bought it in Maryland when I was living out there going to school, and he didn't want to take it with him. I was like, all right, well, I'll take it with me. And it has traveled everywhere to every duty station except for my deployments and every apartment and home that I've lived in. It disassembles and reassembles, and I can raise the height up and down as needed of both the desk and the shelf up above, and it works. So it fits into this tiny corner of my basement where I do all my streaming from. And I'm really just glad that my roommate gave it to me. He's a South African and half South African, half Peruvian dude. And he had a jaw like Jay Leno with the underbite. And you could do the meanest Jay Leno impression I've ever heard. He was also very funny, like Jay Leno. He eventually became he was going to school to be a physician's assistant last time I talked to him. His dad was like a nuclear physicist or something, so they're all very smart people. But it's one of those situations where, it's weird when the friend that you did army stuff with grows up and becomes an adult, and it's like a serious adult job, It's like, whoa, people come to you with their problems? That's crazy. And he wasn't that big of a goof, but makes me proud. All right. We might finish this layer before I have to go back upstairs and get some stuff done before bed. Which is fine. I don't know how many hours it's going to take to use up all the rings in this bag. But I think we can definitely get to, it's 9 rows right now. We're working on row 10. So maybe row 11. We'll see. Alright, why do we got a heartbeat, Pretzel Rocks? I did find the thumbs up and thumbs down button on Pretzel Rocks. And so when I go to change a song next, I need to remember to press one of those because There are some songs that I do not want to hear again. This one seems alright. Alright, ring by ring, it slowly gets done. I'm glad I decided to just expand this jelly cube instead of make another one. Because I already made a smaller one today. And I don't know, maybe I'll make a juggling set later out of a different material, use some color. We'll see. It's a good fidget toy. People like fidget toys. Yeah, like that song that goes, whoa, 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 whoa. I totally know what song you're talking about. I'm assuming you're talking about the song that you've mentioned previously. It shouldn't... Has it played tonight? Because I finally figured out some of how to choose what music you listen to. Alright. So we've got plenty of forums, Facebook groups, and that song's the bane of your existence. I'm sorry, friend. I don't mean to do it. I was gonna say there's a lot of chainmail groups that people can join. There's a lot of chainmail ring manufacturers. There's a lot of chainmail artists. I'm gonna keep building out the Mailworks app. There is, what is that website called? It's called Scale Mail Designer. Scale Mail Designer is not a website I have listed on the Mailworks app because I could never get a hold of the owner. Right? Everyone that's not listed on the Mailworks app, all the manufacturers, they were all asked beforehand. So they'd love to be a part of it. I would love to add the Scale Mail Designer webpage because that is useful. It's a useful tool in our niche, but I tried to get a hold of the guy and couldn't. So I would like to not only have a site like that of my own, but also have a site or an app or a program where you can just upload a picture and then it gives you all the different weave variations and how many colors of each ring you'll need and all the details you would need to make an inlay. And I would like to build out a selection of kits. Not just, mostly not from me. I would, definitely put my own kits in the hat. But just, beginner kits for people to get started. And I think maybe if I just... There's a website called Chainmail Joe, and they have a bright aluminum beginner kit for people. Maybe if I just highlight that inside the app, that would be good. None of the other songs bug you? You don't know why that one does? No, it's okay. Don't even worry about it. There's 2,547 other songs we can listen to on this station inside of Pretzel Rocks. And for anyone watching, Pretzel Rocks is just the music channel on Streamlabs that if you hear music, that's what you're listening to. You love Chainmail Joe for bulk rings? Nice. Joe Kuzi shared a live. Thank you. Appreciate the shares, follows, likes. Need 10,000 followers to get a stream key from TikTok, so I don't have to use my phone as a camera. And also, I've been getting hit with a lot of TikTok shop emails. Like a lot. Like I think I got 4 or 5 today alone. And like, join TikTok shop before Black Friday. And if this were my first rodeo, I probably would. But I've dealt with the issue of platforms and their integrated shops with Meta and Pinterest, and what ended up happening is that it all just became a giant headache to deal with, to where I was putting out fires and trying to figure out how these platforms operated more than I was working on my store and or designs for my store. So I stopped doing that, and I won't be joining TikTok shop most likely. I might take a look, we'll see, but I'm not feeling up for it. So the other thing I get hit up a lot is promoting your videos and switching to a business account. And it's just I just don't trust them not to throttle any little reach I have, and instead demand money to promote posts, right? Because they're already asking me for money to promote posts, and it's like, no, I'm just chilling here. I don't want to give you money. Not that I wouldn't pay for advertising. I've just found that word of mouth of my store and other people sharing, what they bought and stuff, that's brought me far more sales than any paid advertising ever has. So please, I say all this, I say all of that to say this. Please like, follow, share. Share with your friends. Share with your family. Share with the homeless guy down the street. The good news of the Church of Chainmail, so that we can beat the algorithm, because I'm not in a position to pay for it, and I don't think trying to sell a chainmail themed jersey is difficult enough without losing money on advertising. So please, my appeal to you, like, follow, share. Help me defeat the algorithm and become an internet winner. An internet wiener. I got a buddy. Buddy from high school. Good friend. Actually, I mentioned this before. I need to call him. His birthday was on October 31st. Birthday's on Halloween, right? And I call him every year and I sing him happy birthday. And I forgot. I spoke to him at the beginning of October and I completely forgot his birthday. So I need to call him. But he's got 2 kids. And we were running around the zoo when we went home to visit. And he calls his kids wieners. It's like, come on, wieners. Because they're winners. And he calls them wieners. It's fun. You said Jersey and the one on the slideshow popped up. Oh, nice. I didn't even notice. Yep, chainmail themed jerseys. I need to work on some more designs. But there is a good selection of stuff in my store. Everyone should scramble and go take a look. See all the cool stuff I do. What else? Yeah, so an app full of resources, chainmail themed apparel and accessory store, make chainmail, chainmail beginner kits, chainmail kits. You're dying, it happened again. Is this the song? I need to know what happened again. Alright. Anyway. Alright, where are we at here? We are almost done with half a row. Half a layer? I'm not sure how to phrase it. But to make one row, right, it's 2 layers per row. Oh, the jersey thing? That's funny. For anyone wondering what is going on all the other mainstream platforms that people stream on, I'm on there under the same name, and I have a slideshow, and every time I've said jersey, or the 2 times I just mentioned jerseys, right, 2 of the jerseys from the store came up. Part of the slideshow is stuff I've made, part of the slideshow is stuff in my store, and all in all, it's good fun. So I was saying jersey, and then a jersey popped up. And if I said hooded blanket at the right time, a hooded blanket would pop up. So I'm thinking, and I'm kind of like going over in my head, like all the things that exist for chainmail, right? And a while ago, I was digging through the Lego universe, right? And all the websites, you know, like Bricklinks, where you can order bricks and old parts that are still around, and you can buy what you need. I've got 2 projects over there of really old Lego sets that I had that I'm just missing a couple pieces to. And I've got all the pieces that I need written down. And as soon as I have the extra money, I will order the new pieces and finish those projects, right? Lego's got 3D Designer. Lego has Lego kits with instructions that they send out. Lego has a TV show. Trying to think like how to build out the chainmail universe to make it more like the Lego universe, essentially. You think Bricklinks is offline? I wouldn't know. I haven't checked. There's other places to order rings, to order Legos from. Of the Legos I had as a kid, I do not have an 1/8 of them at this point. Alright. For all those interested, we have moved on to the second layer in the 10th row, going up. And we still have to do 2 layers on each side. As you expand it, you gotta expand 3 sides at a time. They got hacked recently. That sucks. Speaking of hacking, so quantum computing is a thing, right? And I don't know anything about it except that it's very powerful and can crack a lot of cryptography to the point where they specifically started designing quantum resistant, quantum proof technology for the military and for crypto in general, right? Like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, all that fun stuff, right? So the concern that I was looking at was the rate of development, right? How many qubits had they developed over a year? And I forget how many. They'd gotten to over 100 qubits or something in like a 2-year period or a year-long period, or 1,000. I think it was 1,000 qubits. I don't remember. It was enough of a rapid development of qubits in a short period of time that it meant that in order for them to get to like 100 million qubits, and if you're getting carpal tunnel, then you need to find a different profession, friend, or melt yoga. What is melt yoga? Liquid yogi. How you doing? Am I getting carpal tunnel? No. Do I have carpal tunnel? Maybe. I usually don't have an issue with it unless I'm working with really stubborn rings. So the development of the qubits was so rapid that in order for them to get to 1 million or 100 million or something, it's only going to be like a matter of months. And then all the items on the internet that are protected with 256-bit encryption, right? They're going to be able to crack all of that. So it was interesting. Interesting development since Bricklinks got hacked. My point is that very soon we might all be hacked. But I guess quantum computing takes up a lot of power, and it's, while it is something that anyone can go and purchase, they're not too worried about it because it's not widely available. I don't know. But if we all start getting hacked, I'm thinking it's quantum computing. That's all. That's what I'm saying. The really fast, smart electronic thingy is breaking the internet stuffs. That's all I know. I think it's Liquid Yogi, you crack me up telling me I need a different profession. This is not my profession. I don't have a profession anymore. I don't do anything. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I'm retired. I'm done. This is just a hobby. I thought about going and getting a job for a while. Take 5 years. Go work, pay off the house, and then just live off my veterans pay. But the thought of going back into nursing or the healthcare field at all, especially after the last 3 years. As of right now, Bricklinks is online. Oh, that's good. But speaking of bricklinks and getting hacked and crypto and quantum computing and mostly crypto, right? That's taken off again recently. That's nice to see. It's an election year, so commodities are going wild. I've got some crypto. We're gonna see where it goes. It's been an exciting development to watch it move after it hasn't done anything for the past 3 years. But yeah, the idea of going back into the healthcare field at this point after the last 3 years, there's no way. There's no way. It's where I would make the most money as a nurse, right? Um, God, it would take so much for me to keep my tongue in check if I did go back to that. I don't know if I could, to be honest. And I would have to shave my beard. And I would have to deal with patients. And I'd have to deal with healthcare workers, which are a lot of the times worse than the patients. A lot of the time. Right? Like, you think your job is bad? Bro, try working in a female-dominated field, and you're the only guy, and you really, really have to watch everything you say. And even if you do that, it's rough. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. You have to shave your beard if you get the job you're after? Nice. If I was in dire straits and I had to go do it, I would shave the beard, no problem. But I'm not, and I'm in a very fortunate position at this point in my life, and I'm just, design chainmail themed apparel and accessories, make chainmail, stream it online, show people that you can make this stuff from household goods and get them hooked and teach them show them a hobby they could be into where they could receive fulfillment and self-actualization where they can start very easily and have some success very early on, I mean, this stuff's only 2,000 years old. You'd think everybody would know about it by now. You got to be clean shaven, so no stubble. Yeah, I remember being in the military. That was the worst. And I have a lot of facial hair, so shaving every day for that whole time was awful. It's like the military is one of those things where I'm glad I did it. I wouldn't do it again. All right, we got 1 1/9 of a layer or a row done. So it's taller. You're taller. How dare you? We got to make it, finish this 10th row up, and then add 2 rows on each side, and we'll be officially a 10 by 10 by 10 cube. And then we might get to an 11 by 11 by 11 cube going through all these rings. Oh my goodness, that almost spilled all over the place. But we'll see what happens. All right. Oh my goodness. Is this bigger than the titanium one? Yeah. The titanium one, I can grab it for comparison. Um, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it's not. They were the same size till I started this next row. And it took an hour and a half to get one layer done of that row. So, but this is a jelly cube, and this is just a cube, right? If you throw this at someone, right, like it's not gonna feel good, but if you throw this at someone, good, it's like a brick. So, I can't wait to. What else? What all we gotta do? It's been tumbled. It's clean, right? So it's got to be etched. These two things have to be etched and then anodized, and then hopefully that will work. And we'll have some very colorful titanium pieces. I don't know what we'll do with them. Right, like this. If I can get the color, no, probably not. I was gonna say maybe I could sell this one, but these are just, they're not, the rings are not quality enough. Maybe, I don't know. I'll think about it. I might sell them one day. Depends on how much money we're talking. We'll see. But yeah, no, these two cubes were the same, roughly the same size, right? And now we're making this one bigger. Good ask, man. I didn't even think about that one. So yeah, but this was the other jelly cube that we did. The titanium one, the brass and bronze one, we added to this one, and I was just jelly cubed out, but I'm glad I sat down and just worked on this and just kind of talked and was able to stream and read comments and, you know, all that fun stuff. It is 10 o'clock. I do have to finish up some stuff before I go to bed for the night. So, let me flip this camera. All right. For everyone on TikTok, my name's Sean. I run mailworks.com, where you can find all your chainmail themed apparel and accessories that your heart desires. If you want to learn more about making chainmail, there is a link in my link tree for the Mailworks app, which is on Google and Apple, and it's an app that has not just a link to my store, but a bunch of resources for new chainmail for people who are interested in getting into chainmail, like tutorials and different ring manufacturers, and where to find tutorials, where to find groups of people that enjoy making chainmail, and it's almost all of the resources I wish I would have had in one place when I started making this. So if you're interested in learning more, go check out the Mailworks app on Google and Apple. And if you like what you're seeing and you want me to continue to do it, please go check out my store. It's mailworks.com. And I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. So I'm going to head to bed. Well, I'm going to go upstairs and finish anything else that needs to be done, and then get heading towards bed. And I will be back on later. This is just one of the many things that we were working on. Jelly cubes are super fun. They're easy to make. Once you get it figured out, it's just a matter of putting them all together. And there's a million different things you can make with chainmail. It's a lot of fun. So I'll be back on making random stuff later. Maybe tomorrow night, maybe sometime over the weekend. And I'm just going to try and keep making content for TikTok and for all the other streaming platforms and go from there. So thank you, everyone, for hanging out. I'm going to head upstairs and get ready for tomorrow. All right, you guys all have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you all later. Bye. All right. Let's see here. All right, you got $5 and let's see here. You got $5 in red pocket lint for the dice bag. Take it or leave it. Yeah. That's a trade up right there. Don't lowball me. I know what I have. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. You have a good night. I'm gonna go and finish up anything that needs to be done upstairs and relax a little bit before bed. All right. Appreciate you being here and all your help.